Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to actually create the Space Rooms demo. Okay, so to start with, we're actually going to use we're not going to do a random map to start with, we're actually going to do a generated map. So the map will actually have a set number of rooms, and those rooms will link together. So if I just quickly load up PowerPoint. So basically we're going to have a number of rooms. Those rooms will link together and they will create a map like so. So there will be a map, and basically when you do the link part, the map will create like so. But let's not worry about that for the minute. You'll have to plan out the map, but we'll get to that in a time being. When you've got PyCharm open, you should see something like this. Welcome to PyCharm. You want to go create new project. I'm going to pop this on my desktop so I know where it is. And you want to give it a sensible name. So users, desktop, there we go. So I'm going to call mine Space Rooms. You want empty project. Python 3 is the interpreter you want to use. So if you go to the directory where you saved it, you should see the folder called Space Rooms. And the first thing you want to do is you want to pop the link.py file in there, and that will basically set up that class. So if we go back to PyCharm, the plus button, we will now see that's in there. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create our classes or our objects. So we've got an item class, a room class, and an alien class to create. So we basically follow the golden rules when we create the classes. So we create the constructor, and then we create the methods. Okay, and these can do something or more likely return something. So let's do that now for the room class. Actually, let's start with the item class. So you right click on Space Rooms, new Python file, and you want to call it item, and that's going to be with a capital I. Class files always have a capital letter to start with. So class item, there we go. So I'm going to go into full screen mode, so hopefully you can see it slightly better. And by full screen mode, I actually mean presentation mode. Here we go. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to write the keyword class. We're going to call it item. That's got to be the same name as your file name. And we're going to open and close our bracket, and we're going to put object, because obviously in object oriented programming we're creating objects. After that, we're going to stick in the colon like so, and press enter 2 times, so we've got a nice gap. And then we're going to create our constructor. So our constructor starts with the keyword def for define, def, and then all Python constructors are underscore underscore init underscore underscore open bracket self close bracket colon. Now that's created the constructor. Now in here, these 2 brackets, this is where we type the stuff we want to know about the object. So the item, if we refer back to your design documentation, has an item name, an item description, and it can add an attack, and it can add health. So we write those in there. Then underneath that, we have to type in the actual code, as it were, because this is what the person, when you create the item, will pop in, and we now need to have it stored. So to store it, it's always the same. It's going to be self dot underscore item underscore name. So whatever this is called, it's self dot underscore, then that equals item name, just like so. So self dot underscore item underscore description equals item description. So what you need to know here is these, the self dot underscore item, are specific to the object. So if you create an item called the hammer, these will be specific to the hammer. Okay, so you get these in, and these will disappear once you come out of this constructor statement, but these won't, which is why we have to do these steps. So self dot underscore add underscore attack equals add attack. You will notice as I'm using this, add health equals, I'm actually using the PyCharm to actually do a lot of the work for me. So it's got add health here. I can actually press the tab key to fill it in. So what I've done there is I've actually created my constructor. So I've got class, then I've tabbed in to do my constructor. Grey lines you can safely ignore, it's just red lines that cause a problem. So now I need to do my methods. So my methods start with define again, and these are all on this line. So all the define statements, all the def statements should all be in a line, and that should be precisely 4 spaces in from the edge of the program. So I'm going to print item. So what I want to do here is I want to print the item name out to the screen, and I'm going to do that with a return statement. So print underscore item, open bracket self. You always have these selves here in object oriented programming. When you create the objects, you always have selves. So return self dot underscore item name. So this is effectively a getter. So define print description self return self dot underscore item description, define add health. So these are basically our getters, so we don't need any setters for this really. So we're just going to have setters. So return self dot underscore add health. By the way, the underscore after the dot self means it's a private class. So add attack self return self dot underscore add attack, and that's our class done. So I'm going to come out of presentation mode, and now we're going to test this item out. So I'm going to create a new Python file, and this is going to be our test file, so we'll just call it test. And here I'm just going to type in, well, let's create an item. So first thing I need to do is import items. Alright, import item. There we go. And now I can do item1 equals item with a capital I. And now I can actually pop in the constructor. So here it was item name, item description, add attack, add health. So item name is going to be hammer. Item description is going to be a shiny hammer. Add health is going to add no health, but it's going to add 10 to the attack. So that's actually now created that item. So the variable name is item1, and that contains the hammer. So what I could do now is I could actually print out the item name by going print item1 dot print name. Print item. So if I was to run this program now, so in PyCharm you go to run, and then just select the file, so test is correct, you'll see that actually it's failed. So the reason it's failed is because I've forgotten to put brackets in. So you need those 2 brackets, so that should fix it. No, still not fixed. Module object is not callable. Item is not callable. So print underscore item. Yes, that should work. From item import. Sorry, my fault. Basically, the way Python works, it's got to be from item import star. The star means all. So that's how it's done. So in future, we will use the correct import statements. So that will be that. So let's ignore that for the minute. And now let's create our alien object. So very similar way to how we did the item object. Before I do that, I'm quickly show you the link object. The reason I gave that to you is because it's actually got a bit of quite complicated game logic in there, but we'll go through that in a minute. So let's create our alien. So new Python file, alien. Okay, let's go into presentation mode. Boom. So again, class alien, capital A, is an object, colon. So let's do our initialization, define underscore underscore init underscore underscore self. And this time the alien will have an alien name, alien health, and alien attack. And exactly like we did with the last one, it's just self dot underscore alien underscore name equals alien name, self dot underscore alien underscore health equals alien health, self dot underscore alien attack equals alien attack. Just correct the typo there, and that's now the constructor done for the alien. Let's just pop that there, pop that there. Just to those grey lines, by the way, are the PEP 8 guidelines. Remember, one of your past points was to write about PEP 8, one for distinction 2 or distinction 1, I believe. That's basically what they're moaning about. So we want to be able to get the health of the alien. So get health, boom, and that's going to obviously return the alien health. We want to be able to get the attack, so define get attack, return self dot underscore alien attack, so that will get the alien attack. Then we want to be able to give damage to the alien, so we're going to define damage self, and we're also going to take an input here, so we're going to want to take in the amount of damage taken, so damage taken, and what we're going to do is we're going to do self dot alien health equals self dot alien health minus damage taken. So that will allow us to actually pop in, well, I'll show you in the tester what that actually does. And the last thing we want to do is we actually want to, we do a actual print output. So we do print alien, and what that will do is that will print out to the screen. So we do a direct screen print self dot underscore alien name plus has plus. The pluses are basically just adding the strings together. So let's get the health plus health, and let's get the attack self dot alien attack. Oh, we need to make that so it's a string, otherwise we get problems. Attack, there we go. So that should do, so that should actually give us all we need for the alien class. So let's come out of the presentation mode, boom, like so. Let's go back into our test class and let's actually create an alien, and I'll show you what I mean by the damage. So from alien import all. Okay, so we'll do alien1 equals alien. So alien name, call it Bob for the minute. Alien health is going to have 10 health, and alien attack is going to have 10 attack. So that will do for that one. And then let's print out that alien. So alien1 dot print alien. And then let's actually have him take 5 damage. So alien1 dot damage. Then we'll have him take 5 damage. And then we'll print him out again to show you it's actually changed the health of the alien. So let's run that. So we get a slight problem here. So coding's a lot. You get these problems and you have to work out why you've got the problems. So alien name, that's because I forgot a speech mark there. So that should now fix that one. So Bob has 10 health and 10 attack. He then takes 5 damage, and now he's got 5 health. So that seems to be working perfectly. So now let's create a room. Now room object is slightly more complex, probably the most complex object we're going to do. So let's call it room. Let's enter presentation mode. So class room. Again, it's going to be an object, colon, and let's do our constructor, and our room is going to have self, because it needs it, room name, room description, room alien, room item, and then room master computer. So that's if the room contains the master computer or not. So self dot underscore. So just as before, we just have to do this. Takes a little while to do this, but you'll see the benefits of this later. So self dot underscore room description equals room description, self dot underscore room alien equals room alien, self dot underscore room underscore item equals room item, self dot underscore room master computer equals room master computer. I've got the colon here, so let's stick that in now, and that's the initialization for that one done. Right, so what we need is we need a way of displaying the description. So define display description, and let's just print out the description of the room. Self dot display description. We need a way of checking if it contains an alien, so define contains alien. And how this is going to work, if there's no alien, we're going to pass in the keyword none. So if self dot room alien is none, so if there's no alien, sticking a colon, we're going to return false. But if there is an alien, we're going to return true. So basically this will check if the room has an alien in it. We're going to do the same, exactly the same thing for item. Define contains item. So if self dot underscore room item is none, return false, else return true. And then we want to be able to get the item, so define get item, and that's just going to return the item. We want to be able to get the alien, so that's just going to return the alien. We want to be able to remove the alien and remove the item, so define remove item. So all that will do is that will make self.room item equal none. Same thing for the alien, so define remove alien self.room alien equals none. And then finally we need to check if it contains the master computer, so contains, let's call it MC just for short, and if it does return, well, because this is true or false anyway, we can just return that. So basically that will save an if statement. So basically what we've done is, because room master computer is true or false anyway, define contains master computer will just return master computer, so effectively a get statement. So let's come out of that. So let's exit presentation mode. So we now have our alien class, our room class, our item class, and our link class, which we'll come back to, and we've got our tester class, and we have now set up all of our objects. So because we've set up all of our objects, we are ready to actually write the game. So let's create a new Python file, and we're going to call it game, lowercase g this time because it's the game and not an actual class file. So we need to do all of our imports. So we want to import room, so from room import all. Actually, let's go to our presentation mode. From alien we want to import all. From even, there we go. You will notice in PyCharm they're grey until you actually use them. That's quite a useful feature. So from item import all, and then from link import all. Don't forget to do the link, even though I know you didn't create it. And then we're also going to need the Python class random, so let's import random. So first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to create the alien. So what we're going to do is we're going to do game setup first. So we're going to create the aliens, we're then going to create the items, we're then going to create the master code. So remember, the idea of the game is to collect bits of paper with the master code on and then pop that in the master computer. And we're going to create the papers that use that, and then we're going to create the rooms, then we're going to create the links. So what I'll do is I'll very briefly show you one of each, and then we'll end this video and we'll jump to the next one. So let's create the first alien. So alien1 equals alien. So this alien is a stinking mermaid-like creature, and it will have 5 health, notice the dot naught, and 5 attack. So that's one of the aliens. Let's create an item. So item 1 equals item. So this is going to be a hammer. The description is going to be a giant hammer, and it's going to add 8 attack but no health. So that's one of the items. For the master code is going to be, this is where PyCharm can be actually annoying, is A, B, C, D. So I'm just going to create 5 variables called A, B, C, and D. So A equals random dot rand int 0 to 9. So let's copy that. So the master code is going to be created at random here. Like so. And then the papers with the actual code on. Paper 1 equals item. So they're just going to use the item class, but we're going to do it slightly differently. So item. So the item name is a torn piece of code paper for A. So this is for code A. And the description would just be the actual code. So string A. So it's a string and then it will add naught and naught. So that's the papers. And then let's create one room. So room 1 equals room. So 1. So the name is just really for our purposes. We never actually use it in the game itself. So the description. So this is the bit the user will see on the screen. The status bay, and this is the bit where you can use your imagination. Status bay sits beeping in the corner of this unremarkable room. And then we're going to have no alien, so we write none. No item, so we write none. And the master computer is not here, so we write false. So that's our room. So we will get to links and that in a minute. And we need to create obviously several of these. So I think my map is going to have roughly 24 rooms with an association and maybe 5 aliens and 10 items. So let's stop the let's just stop the video for now and we'll pick it up in a minute.